Hi guys, Mike Huq here. Thank you so much for tuning in for this video. It's a really special video. I want to go through some of the things that you can do in your day to level up your day, to promote yourself and elevate yourself. We talk about this more in my course, The Path, but let's go get into it right away here. First of all, it's called the MES system. That's what I've designed it as. And these are little breaks. We'll talk about full meditation training in your day, how you bookend your day, but let's get into the meat of it. During the day, there's an opportunity for meditation. And these are short meditations that you do for maybe a half a minute, a couple of different techniques. First of all, for meditation, one is the heart math. Put your hand on your heart. Just take a deep breath in, and then deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. And then ask yourself a time in your life when you were happy, when you were proud, when you were grateful. Just bring those feelings to yourself. Recently, I attended a talk and got a chance to speak with Michael Fassbender, one of the greatest actors of our time. And people asked him, how did you get into that role when you're under pressure? He says, I just go to a place where I'm happy. I think about whatever a time in my childhood. I bring that back, and then I'm just ready to go. Okay, so that's something you can change your state immediately. For those of you that follow Tony Robbins that talk about state change, neuro-linguistic programming, this is so important. Another technique is simply standing here in the middle of your day, connecting yourself through the ground, through your shoes, and just breathing in, count to 4, breathe out. Breathing in, breathe out. So you adjust your breath, and then you notice the things around you that you're not noticing. Right now, we're thinking. We have 90,000 thoughts a day. 95% of them we had yesterday. So take a second, and right now I'll do it. What am I not thinking about? Right now, I'm not thinking about people in another country or in Europe living their life. I'm not thinking about what's happening to people in Florida right now. I'm not thinking about what's happening on television tonight. None of these thoughts were in my head until right now. And that's one of the very interesting things. We can actually never predict what our next thought will be. But by doing that, we are distracting ourselves. And we'll get into that. The whole key of meditation is the ability to distract your mind. The mind is like a container. It's like one of these glasses. You can empty it or you can fill it at will. And this is something that people spend a lifetime learning about and trying to perfect. These monks that meditate for hours per day for years. So one way that you can incorporate this is through your day. I like to tell people you do your morning and evening, and then you have 3 of these sessions where you just take a 1-minute meditation. And then exercise, which we all know we should do more of. So on the spot, maybe just jog a little bit on the spot, jog a little bit on the spot, jog a little, or shake yourself out a little bit. Just move your body. Try to do this every hour. When I used to study, and we have special modules on studying, 45 to 50 minutes, take a 5 to 10 minute break. Whatever you're doing, get up, move around, shake, exercise in some way. Do some push-ups. Do this a couple of times a day. Okay? Then finally, stretching. Our body, we flex, so we're in the chair, sitting, that's the enemy. Flexion is the enemy, extension is our friend, so when we go back. So just some quick movements you can do. For example, shoulder stretches. Just keep this stretch 15 to 30 seconds, count it out. Same way this way, and you're extending your body, your shoulders. So many of us have back pain. These are chronic issues. And of course, check with your doctor before you do any of these things. And remember, these aren't specific instructions. They're not replacing medical advice at all. So please check with your healthcare practitioner before you do any type of strenuous exercise, of course. But these are some of the techniques that we can do. I call it the MES. Set it aside 3 times a day. You can send yourself a text, or you can, if you got a Fitbit, you can set an alarm, maybe at 10 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock after you've had your lunch, 3 o'clock, and that throughout your day will sort of reset your mind, give you a little more energy. And one of the other things that we can do is every time, for example, you're walking through a doorway as a trigger, or you have a desk that you walk by, set aside what's your goals for today. Is it to be more patient? Is it to be more aware? Is it to be compassionate? Okay, those are maybe a couple of words you can use. Those are for me. What are you thinking about? What do you want to do today? And if you have an important meeting, or you have, for example, interaction with somebody that you have a difficult situation with, and oftentimes these are triggers. You're fine or they're fine, but you get in that situation, for example, your boss, it gets triggered. So ask yourself, when you're with that person? Am I being patient with them? Am I being compassionate with them? Now ask yourself constantly. So your day is divided up into these blocks. And every time you walk through a doorway, just sort of ask yourself, am I being more patient, being more compassionate? And what you can do is you can set some texts up in the morning. Auto text yourself. 1 o'clock, it's a nice little treat. You're working away. Bing, text. Be patient, be compassionate. You're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. So we're going to talk more about that in affirmations. Remember, we set our brain, and there's good information that we're actually changing our DNA. Studies in Russia show 90% of our DNA is changeable. It's called epigenetics. Deepak Chopra, one of my teachers who I admire and study personally with, has just come out with a study that when you do meditation, as opposed to just regular relaxation or doing nothing, your DNA literally changes. There's something called telomerase, which is a fancy term for a type of DNA or component of DNA. The longer the better, the more the better, and bottom line is you start to develop more of the good DNA characteristics. So we know we can change our minds, we can literally change our bodies. So these are some of the tools that you can use, and please take a look at my course, The Path, where we'll go into how you can structure your day and look at some of these different things and how you can elevate yourself, because all of us can take ourselves to the next level. You have the power to do that, and thank you so much for spending time with me. I appreciate that, and check out some of the great free videos and resources we have on our website. Thank you.